Hi everyone, I hope that you are all doing great. So welcome. It's really an honor and privilege to welcome you at Et-tanwir page. Just I would like to say this page is created only to share insightful and inspiring ideas with, especially with students from the Faculty of Arts and Human Sciences, the Harmehrez in Fez. So please follow the page, and I hope you could find this video helpful. So concerning like some pieces of information about novella The Pearl. The Pearl is a novella written by the American author John Steinbeck. It was published in 1947. So John Steinbeck's novel is a parable that demonstrates the destructive force of greed, which means it tried to depict how greed can like demolish or destroy the family and the relationship with family members. The Pearl tells the story of a pearl diver, Keno, who is the protagonist of the novel, and it explores man's like purpose as well as greed, defiance, and societal norms and evil. Steinbeck's inspiration was a Mexican folk tale from La Paz, Baja California, Mexico, which he had heard in a visit to the formerly like pearl-rich region in 1940s. Moving to the main characters of the story are the following. We have Kino, who is the protagonist of the novel, Joanna, his wife, Coyotito, their child, and the doctor, the priest, Joan summary of the novel as follows. The pearl is set in the town of La Paz in the Mexican state of Baja California, which is I think a city in Mexico. The story's main characters are, as above mentioned, Kino, Joanna, his wife, Coyotito. I would like to say that Kino and his family are poor Mexican Indians who live in a small brush house. The story begins when Kino's son Coyotito is stung by a scorpion in his cradle. When the family and their neighbors bring Coyotito for medical treatment, they turn away by the great doctor who holds racist views against Indians and refuses to treat Coyotito because he didn't have money to pay for the treatment. So later on that morning, Kino and Joanna set off in their canoe to go pearl diving. To the amazement of the whole town, Kino finds the largest pearl that he has ever seen. That evening, they are visited by the priest and then by the doctor, who are greedy and who are drawn by the news of Kino's newly found wealth. When the doctor inquires about payment, Kino accidentally gives away his hiding place for the pearl. Before bed, Kino reburies the pearl under his sleeping mat. That night, an intruder sneaks into their house to steal the pearl from the original hiding place. Kino attempted to apprehend him, but is wounded by the fight. After the break-in, Joanna becomes convinced that the pearl is an evil and attempts to convince Kino to get rid of it. Kino, however, who dreams of using the wealth he will acquire from selling the pearl to ensure better life for his son and his family, refuses. The next day, when Kino and Joanna are preparing to go into town to sell the pearl, Joanna Thomas, who is Kino's brother, warns Kino to be wary of the townsman who might offer him for a deal. Indeed, the buyers have conspired to offer Kino only measured prices, but Kino refuses to sell the pearl and decides instead to venture into the capital to find a better price. That night, Joanna secretly takes the pearl from the house and plans to throw it into the sea. However, Kino wakes up and chases her down. When he reaches her, beats her violently and heads back toward home with the pearl. On the way, he is ambushed by a group of men. In the pursuant battle, Kino kills one of the men. Joanna finds Kino by the body of the man he has killed and to resolve to flee or escape the village at once. Kino rushes to his canoe but finds vandals have destroyed it. Joanna manages to rescue Coyotito from their home, which is soon set on fire, which means destroyed. The following day, Kino's family is given refuge by Juan Thomas and his wife Polonia. They are sympathetic to the family. At night, Kino, his wife, and his son set out for the capital, but It becomes clear that three men are tracking them next day. The family makes it to a cave by water source, hoping to spend nights in safety. At last, in طلوع الفجر, however, the trackers reach the water themselves and set up camp. Kino sneaks on them and plans to kill them, but Coyotito unexpectedly cries in the cave. One of the trackers fires his rifle toward the cry, and Kino kills all three of them in a fury. The shot has killed Coyotito, unfortunately. Kino and Joanna head back into town the following morning, bearing their dad's son and the pearl. The townspeople watch as they approach the sea in morning. Kino reaches the shore and flings the pearl as far as he can, and this implies that Joanna was right when she said that the pearl is an evil. Here you have an exercise. Answer in the comment section if you would like to get the correction. What are the characteristics of the main characters? Check the meaning of the words highlighted in yellow and identify the grammatical categories of each word highlighted. At the end, I would like to say if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. I will be answering you, and stay tuned